Cut to the intro.
I feel like there's something in this house. Babe, I heard something.
There's nothing to worry about. It's just... Man, that's a lot of pain.
Hello everybody, welcome to MaffmanJones Movie Reviews. I am John Maffio, and today's featured movie is Scary Movie 5. This stars Ashley Tisdale and Simon Rex, the guy from 3 and 4. And the plot? Well, there is no plot, but it does follow in the realm of the first Paranormal Activity and Mama. Now, please stick with me on this, because I'm about to unleash an opinion that might seem appalling to some of you, but I wasn't looking forward to this movie, but at the end of the day, it wasn't a good movie, but I actually had fun with it. It was kind of enjoyable. No! This movie was not an insult like The Apparition and Piranha 3 Double D were, but Scary Movie 5 was an extremely dumb movie that was a complete waste of time. And to make matters worse, when I walked out of the theater, I heard a grown adult say, "Oh my god, that was the worst movie I've ever seen in my life." And I'm like, yeah, I agree with you. And then he said after that to his girlfriend, "You just wanted to see Ryan Gosling with his shirt off." So he was referring to Place Beyond the Pines being the worst movie he's ever seen in his life. I don't want to live on this planet anymore. Like the previous installments, this movie also entails a completely random segment at the beginning of the movie that has nothing to do with the normal plot. This one involved Charlie Sheen and Lindsay Lohan, and I'm not gonna lie here, I actually found it kind of amusing and humorous, and I giggled quite a lot. After that, however, this movie takes a sharp downward spiral through all 7 stages of hell. I'm going to keep this as concise as I possibly could, but most of the movie is just pop culture jokes, and jokes, and more jokes. And the worst part is that most of the jokes are slapstick humor. Very violent slapstick humor. 95% of the jokes fell flat. They were very effortless and lazy, and they seemed more like replacements for clever jokes that could have been inserted because the writers couldn't find a better option. Given, aside from the opening scene, there were 2 or 3 jokes that made me giggle, but that's all they did was make me giggle. They made me go, heh, but that's it. The rest of it is absolute garbage and torturous nonsense. 2 other horror flicks that have significance to the story in this one are Mama and Evil Dead. And guess what? Both of those movies came out this year. One in January and the other last week. They had the actual nerve to parody a movie that released a week before themselves. You know what the impression that leaves on me? It tells me that this movie was in pre-production, principal production, and post all within a month or less. Here was their pitch. Here's the game plan. We're going to spoof Evil Dead, which doesn't release until a week before ours, but we can get away with it because it's a reboot and we can just take stuff from the original, but we'll just probably take stuff from the commercials and the trailers and make it look like we actually watched the movie. Then we'll spoof Mama, which released just now, and then we'll spoof some other movies and some other pop culture references and stuff. People will like it. People will dig it. Cut, print, send. The whole entire thing is very distasteful and soulless, and you could tell that everybody involved with this movie is just there for a paycheck because either they have nothing else to do or because they can't find other work. Another complaint about the humor is that a lot of the jokes injected into the movie make absolutely no sense at all. A good example is that throughout this movie there is the time-lapse movement, which was done in Paranormal Activity where they sped up time to show something really creepy. In this movie they do it a lot. They perform it so many times that it becomes repetitive, as for most of the movie in general, but the weirdest part is that during these time-lapses you could hear real-time sound effects. Like, if I were to capture this song being played at 3 times the normal speed, it wouldn't sound like this. It would sound like this song enhanced by 3 times the speed. But in Scary Movie 5, during these time lapses, this song would be played in real time. As much as most of the movie defies the laws of physics, that just doesn't make sense at all. I'm not even going to go into detail discussing the acting, the cinematography, the aesthetics, and the music, because why bother? Reason being is that none of that complements the movie. The only thing driving this movie is the humor and the jokes, but most of the jokes are absolutely dumbfoundingly terrible and they all fall flat, with the exception of a couple But for the most part, Scary Movie 5 is an abomination. A 0 out of 5 stars. I never want to associate with this movie ever again. I highly enjoy the first 3 movies, and now that this one has come out, I can tolerate the 4th. So if you want to see Scary Movie 5, or you already have seen it, God help your soul. Let me know anything about this freaking movie in the comments down below. Please subscribe to MaffmanJones, like this video, and check out Facebook, Twitter, and Wheatlet Film in the info box. I am John Maffio of MaffmanJones Reviews. I've given up.
I've come back from worse than this.
Scary Movie.